Hi, and welcome back to Bachelor Buzz, the best place to come for recaps on your favorite reality TV dating show and the latest in Bachelor Nation news. We're your hosts, Arena.
And Julia. And today we're talking about the second episode of The Golden Bachelorette with Joan Vassos. I will, full disclaimer, I'm a little under the weather. I traveled yesterday, and I kind of like got a cold. I don't know what's going on. So my voice is a little worse than normal. But I am feeling a little better now. I got my Red Bull. Right now, I'm sure you're not drinking, because I know
No.
this is a work time for you
Yeah,
usually. So thank you for meeting with me earlier in the day,
my
than we
water.
usually meet. You got your water,
It's
hydrated
sparkling water.
queen. Nice. I really should be drinking water, but I was like, I need to get the energy going for
Yeah.
the podcast recording. But yeah, so I think last night's episode was really fun. Um, I'm excited to talk about it with you.
Yeah, I'm excited too. And I will say, full disclosure, I don't mind recording at this time because my
I
children are at
know.
school right now. And this
Yeah.
just like is a break for me to like do this and be like,
Yeah. Oh,
Bachelorette.
I know. It honestly is a good time, but like if I were
It's
back on the
hard.
East Coast,
Yeah.
once again,
Yeah.
tricky. But
Yeah.
yeah, we do it when we can. And I definitely didn't want to miss the episode.
Yeah.
So you guys can tell that I'm recording on my phone and I got a different Joan. Hopefully it's not backwards. I'm sorry
No,
if
it's
it's
perfect.
Oh, it is? Okay,
We can read
good.
it like perfectly. So it's perfect. And it's nice because it's still in the theme, but it's a
Oh
little
yeah.
different.
We
So
see
we're
the
just
beautiful
mixing it up.
Joan. Yeah.
Yeah. So totally fine. And we were saying,
Cool.
guys, that we're just like gonna get into it. We're gonna really
Yep.
focus on those three dates. Obviously, other little things happened, but I think what I can say coming from this episode, I once again really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
Oh, and because of what's been released, some information about one
We
of the
do need to talk about that a
contestants,
little. Yeah.
we do need because he's still there.
Yeah.
So, once
We'll talk
again,
about that. Yeah.
we're
Okay.
talking within the scope of this
What she
show where
knows.
she
Yeah.
doesn't, yes, only what she knows, not what has come out after. But of course, like we just said, we do need to address it like we did last season. This is starting to become what feels like a trend.
Ugh.
And I feel as though this is obviously another situation in which casting should have been better and they need to
Yes.
do better on the show. So,
Yeah. They seem to have, well, all right, we'll talk about it when we get
yeah,
to it, I guess.
yeah,
But okay, for now, we'll start as we always do with the cold open.
yeah.
Cold open is our Mark royalty Bachelor
Yes.
Nation.
Oh, Mark.
Mark is chatting with Joan. He
Mm-hmm.
speaks in German and he said, well, I don't
Nice.
know what he says, but he says basically something
Ich
in
bin.
German. Yeah, something with ich and meaning I.
I.
And he's like, can you guess what it means? And she's like, what does it mean? And he says, can I kiss you? And she was like, yes. And they kiss, and it just felt really nice. And then she said, you should have asked me sooner. So
Mhm.
that was really cute. So obviously we have that looking to look forward to.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to the men at the house, and
Mhm.
they are just being such dads, aren't they?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love this.
Mhm.
They're all just
They
dads, grandpas. They are like assessing the landscape and
are.
all the different parts of the house. They're
Yeah.
at one point in the show they fixed the garbage disposal, I think, and it
Yes.
cracked me up. Like these guys are just
Awesome.
you just become a dad, like they're just
It's who they
so
are.
funny.
It's who they are
Hmm.
at this point in their life. So it's really nice
So
to see
cute.
because it's such a different flavor than the other Bachelorette with the original show. And we also see them going into the bedrooms, and once again, it's what, like
Mm.
seven people to a room and bunk beds for these
Why
60s and
can't
70s,
they?
late 50s. Like,
Yeah, save the mansion for the young kids. I mean, I know they're having
yes.
fun with like fixing all the little
Yeah.
problems, but
But
please just put these people in a nice resort. Like,
yes,
we do not
please.
need, it's probably cheaper, you
Yes.
know? Say it's a
Come on.
wedding, get a block. Like, come on.
Yes. Like it's like it's a wedding block, like you said. Like they should
Yeah.
all get one room or just two to a room if you're gonna do
Yeah, you
that.
can
Maybe
get
a suite, the
mhm.
two rooms in the sitting area, and
Yes.
have bathrooms where it's only at the most maybe two to a bathroom. That's okay. These
Yeah.
men are older. They shouldn't be like, they were talking about, like Gary was saying, oh, my knees, I can't get up on that top
Yes.
bunk. Several of
Dan
them
with
said
his
they have to.
tremors. Yeah.
Yeah, several of them said they have to get up in the middle of the night. Obviously, for those who know, older men, yeah, they got to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom several times. So it's a lot. Pascal says he sleeps naked. I mean, one of them snores. Gary, not Gary,
That was
Greg.
funny.
Greg
Greg,
snores.
Greg.
Like,
And he didn't know. Like, show me a single older man. Oh, I didn't know I snored. Like, news to me. That's the kind of
it
thing your
was
wife would tell you. It's so
funny.
funny.
He's like, well, that's probably why I'm single. That's why he made a joke. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's
Oh,
not
Greg.
right. And then Pascal, I have to say,
Yeah.
he is a trip. He is really fun to
He's
see on the
funny.
show.
He
He
is.
literally is like, I'm high maintenance. And he doesn't apologize for it. He's just like, I'm high maintenance.
I love it.
I'm high maintenance. I love
Yup.
it too. He pays Greg
And
$100 to do his laundry.
honestly, like,
Greg's like, okay.
we should have more arrangements like that. I mean, I don't know anyone who, like, I don't know. We should just do that more. I think that's awesome. But
Yeah.
yes, I totally agree. I think it's so cute. But yeah, it is disappointing that these guys are once again in bunk beds, once again sharing rooms. Like, that's just really hard on older people. Like, just in general, we need to be a little bit more thoughtful. And we thought that
Yeah.
people complain enough about it in the Golden Bachelor, and like once again, we're seeing them standing at the rose ceremonies, and we
Yes.
know they go on forever. We see the sunrise in lots of shots. It's like, come on, like give these
I'm not even
men
like that. I'm in my
some
30s.
couches, stadium seating. Like,
Yes.
why can't we just get some
Yeah.
different levels of chairs?
They should switch it up.
Anyways,
They
yeah,
really should, though. It's a different show, so let's
yeah.
switch it up and let's do things differently. Because even in my 30s, I don't really want to share a room besides with my husband.
Oh,
Um,
hell no. I actually think about that so much. I was like, I really don't like, I need my own room when I go on
yeah.
girls' trips and stuff.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I think the last girl trip I went on, it's like I had the pull out couch. It was
Oh
just
yeah.
it was a bad design. My clothes were in the living room. It's just we got to stop doing that. We're too old for that
We're too
shit.
old for that.
And I'm only 34, so I can't imagine what these men are thinking.
I know. It's like
Golden
I want
men.
my own bathroom, I want my own space. I'm not trying to be like,
Hmm. I
oh my
know.
gosh. But even like when we travel with our two small children, it's fine. Like obviously you're staying with family, you're not gonna have your full accommodations. But
Yeah.
when we go to a hotel, I'm like, okay, hun, let's definitely get the rooms where it's what, like a junior suite or something where you have a bedroom
Yeah.
separated from like the living room and a kitchenette. I'm like, I kind
Yes.
of need my things
That's
now.
so
Like I need
nice.
need
Totally.
separation from the kids.
You're so right.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so they explored and they looked at everything, and then they all come together, and Jesse comes in and tells them what's going on. There's going to be two great group dates, and then there's going to be a magical one-on-one. And he says, if you
Magical.
don't get a rose from this magical one-on-one, you're going home, basically. And then Charles
Mhm.
L's like, oh, can you repeat that? And they're all like, yeah, can you repeat?
I
Jesse's
feel
like,
like
of course.
that's yeah, that's not really
I love
done
it.
much.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like, all right, if you don't get it, you don't get it. Like, that was interesting, but you know what? They should do that more. It'd probably get the season going a little faster. But you know what? I guess that is that not how it is for one-on-ones? Like, if you don't get it, you're going home. I guess that is true.
Actually, yeah, for the
You know
entire
what? I think that they just
season,
don't say it that way.
it's,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's just the way it was said, maybe that it
It
seemed
was like,
different.
ooh,
And plus,
hmm,
like,
you're right.
these
Yeah.
men aren't like, some of the women for the Golden Bachelor had watched the show. Because generally, let's be
True.
honest, it is a show that a lot of, when you're talking about demographics, a lot of the time it's
Totally.
female. Um,
Yeah. It's
so
like
a lot of the
women,
women,
daughters,
yes,
moms.
women, daughter,
Like,
yeah.
my mom watches it. We
Exactly. So
talk
it's
about it.
mothers,
Yeah.
daughters, granddaughters. It's like aunts, it's things like this and friends. It's usually not guys. Like in their 60s, they weren't sitting around, not always, but like 20 something years ago, sitting down ready for The Bachelor. Okay. Like this wasn't something
Yeah.
on their radar.
No.
So I love though that it was like, yeah, of course I'll repeat it. He repeats it. And then the first group date, they get ready and it is a senior prom.
Prom. Oh my God. So cute. And it was like old school prom. It was like set in the what,
80s.
80s. It was so
Mhm.
cute. And all the guys got dressed up
Yeah.
and like they reminisced about their own proms. Like we heard a
Mhm.
lot of ruffle talk and we saw a lot of ruffles, lots of shiny,
Mhm.
sparkly outfits.
Yeah.
And how cute was Joan
Oh
when she came
yeah.
out? She looked like
Mhm.
Tinkerbell, like her dress,
It was such
long-haired Tinkerbell.
a cute idea for a dress. It wasn't
Mhm.
so formal. It was kind of fun. And I think also maybe kind of was like a throwback to the 80s too, because wasn't that
Mhm.
also when they were doing like shorter dresses, maybe towards the
Yeah,
late 80s?
lots of like taffeta. Is that the word
Yeah.
for it? Yeah, that
Yeah,
like
right? And that's
that
kind of like what
material. Oh
her
yeah.
dress was. So that
Yeah,
was
and it was
cool.
gold, of course.
Yes, of course, of course. And yeah, it was really cool that it was like they got to relive it. And for those like Jonathan who had never gone to his prom, that was really
Yeah.
great too for him. And yeah, the
You
early
can hear
80s,
his
it sounds
story.
like late 70s is when these guys were
Yeah,
in high school
cute.
going to prom. Yeah, so it was nice. Some special moments I feel like was definitely Charles L. and him
Mm,
telling Joan about his late wife and when she died, she had a brain aneurysm, so it was sudden and
yes,
it happened on a
very
business trip.
sudden.
Yeah, so
And he was like,
only
the
loves.
sorrow that I felt
Mhm.
so long. And I think at one moment, you know what, I was listening for it. I feel like I didn't actually catch it, but you can correct me. But at some point, didn't he say that this was the first time he like felt happy
Yes,
since she passed? Like,
yes,
oh my
yeah,
God.
I know. Happy like that.
Yeah.
It was so tough to hear, but like he and his wife, it was just them. Like they didn't date anyone else. They were their first and only loves, and they were together for 36 years. So that's most of their lives. That is just amazing. And so I understand why that is hard for him. And I love that the producers let him speak to his daughter so that she was able to give him some words of encouragement and tell him that she loves him. And because it seemed like he was starting to feel pretty bad. And he was sitting off by himself at one point, just kind of sitting there. And it was just really tough to watch. It was sad. I love Charles. I really,
Yeah.
he's just such a lovely man.
He's sweet.
Um, he really is. But yeah, and then fun fact we learned about Jordan having
Yeah.
dated Taylor Dane, who was the singer
Who was
guys
the
who had a
singer?
top single in the 80s. Like he's like, yeah, we
Oh
went
my
on a
God.
date.
He's like, you know
What,
what? I dated
Jordan?
her. That was funny. And
I
then we also found out that Gary
know. Hmm.
is Tina Turner's godson.
Godson,
So
yeah.
like these people, again, these men have lived. They got
Yes.
connections, they got cool
Hmm.
stories. Like it's just
Hmm.
so fun.
Yes.
They really are just such a more like no offense to the guys from The Bachelor. Again, they're we've had so many guys from that
Yeah.
franchise that we have just loved and
Of
like really
course.
liked
Of course.
their stories and like just their personalities. But like so many of these guys just are so fun and delightful.
They are.
I
They
just really
are.
like hearing about their lives.
That's the perfect word, Julia. I love that. Delightful. They
They
are
are.
delightful, and it makes the show delightful to watch.
Yes,
It's
it is.
nice. It's not crass, it's not too dramatic, it's not
Yeah.
frustrating,
Catty. Yeah.
catty, just overdoing it, like just misogynistic. It's none of that. It's
Hmm.
just delightful. And I also really liked, I will say, with Jonathan, when he mentioned, when he was in high school, he went to a small Catholic school where he was the only person of color.
Hmm.
And, that was his experience. And he asked a girl to prom. And then right before, she was like, no, I'm not going. And so he didn't get to go. And I really
Oh,
like felt for him because I feel like, and not to get too personal, but I think that when you are a person of color and if you're a black person, you go to a school that's predominantly not
right.
of your race, you go through things similar to that or like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's exactly what happened because he didn't exactly say that, but I'm saying from my own experience, you things are told to you, things happen, people say things,
Yeah.
and I really felt like, oh, Jonathan, oh. And
Like you
he still
weren't
remembered it.
surprised.
I
to
was
hear
not
that.
at all.
Yeah,
And I was like, and yeah, you
it's
don't
really
forget that
sad,
stuff.
especially back then in the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
where like people
Yeah.
were just so much quicker to judge. I mean, we obviously are still working on that in our
There's a lot
current
still going on,
times,
guys. Yeah. But
but
yeah.
people were definitely feeling confident doing that stuff. So,
Yeah.
but it's just really sad because he just never went to prom.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like he was kind of healing his inner teen
Yes.
through
Yes.
this prom. And guess what, guys? She was right there with him. She lifted him up by giving him the prom king crown. I think he really deserved it. And
Yes.
I think that, small things like that from the Golden Bachelorette just really help the guys feel like, okay, I am worthy and I am important in this competition. Um, so I think that sometimes in this show, like people don't win after giving those kinds of,
Yeah.
and I just think it was the right time for her to give him something like
Yes.
that. So, and he got a rose. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I was
It
really
was
happy. And he's one of our top four.
he
So,
is.
we
And
got to talk about
she
my top four later. Go
right.
on.
And yeah, she just, I mean, I think she really, because every time she talks about him, she's like, he is so good looking. He is just so good
Mm-hmm.
looking. So I think
Mm-hmm.
Joan is very attracted to him, which is understandable. Look at him, guys. He's in his 60s, and even if he wasn't in his 60s, he looks great. And I will also say it was fun seeing the pictures of all the guys when they were younger
Oh my
because
God.
someone
I
like a
love that.
Jonathan has blossomed. And for any of you out there who are on the younger end who may be listening to us, thank you. If you don't feel like you are the everything right now, just know that it doesn't matter now. It gets better. Like a fine wine,
F yes.
you age well.
Yes. I
Just,
think that I personally had my glow up in like post college,
yeah,
or
I
even
feel like,
I would even argue that like ever since I met my husband, I feel like there's a glow up that
that's
happens when you meet your
nice.
person,
That's
you know?
nice. Oh my gosh.
But it's like, yeah, I look back on like my younger childhood pictures and I'm like, ah, if you only knew. Like, not to say
right?
that I think I'm amazing now,
I
but
mean,
like I'm living my best life, guys. Like I think you are too right now, right?
I would
Cheers.
say, yeah, I definitely thank you. Yeah, where's my bottle of water? I would say, yeah, the glow up happened for me starting in college, but probably like that last year of college. I went to college for like 3 years. I graduated early, so
Yeah.
for my undergrad, and it was in that third year that I really feel like that's when it began, and it
Yeah.
continued on into
It's
my
that,
30s. So,
yeah, it's just like learning about yourself. I feel,
Mhm.
yeah, like I think for me, kind of like in college too.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think that that's a great point, Arena. Like for our younger viewers,
Mhm.
you just
Hey, don't
you get
worry.
golden. Just keep
Yes.
on being you
Yes, guys,
and
just
making
be
good
you.
decisions for you.
Yes,
Wash your
you.
face, take your
Yes.
makeup off before bed, or
Yes.
guys,
All of
wash your
you.
face before bed. Use
Yes.
your moisturizer, hyaluronic
Yes.
acid,
Yes. No, seriously,
drink your
seriously,
water,
guys. Yes,
and
drink your
believe in
water.
yourself.
Take care of yourself, mental and
Yes.
physical health, and your soul. If someone in your life doesn't serve you, they're not your friend. Okay? If they ditch you at the bar, they are not your friend because they
Right.
will not leave you for someone to. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my life. Anyway, just
That's a whole
kidding,
nother
guys.
podcast. One day we need to just talk like
We
our
have
own.
life stories, guys.
We got to do like, ooh, we got to do like a either like ask
Ask us.
Arena and Julia or
Yes.
like a advice thing, that'd be
Yes, we
fun.
should. We should.
We love talking about this stuff.
Yeah,
Obviously, you all know
we do
that.
too. Right.
But okay,
But
well,
yeah,
let's
so it's
move
great.
on. So now we see the one-on-one with Chalk, who was in your top four. And once again, Arena, you are on the right path because he was the only difference between our top fours.
Was he?
And yes, we both said John, Keith, and Mark. You had Chalk,
Oh,
and I
that's
had Jack. And
Jack. Oh.
Jack is no longer with us in the
Yeah.
competition, as
Yeah.
we will talk about later.
Yeah.
Spoiler, whatever.
Spoiler.
Anyways, yeah, that was a little disappointing, but whatever. I mean, again, it's early.
It is early, guys. It is early. But yeah,
But yes, Chalk did great.
They went to Disneyland and I loved it. And I don't know why. more like Bachelor seasons and Bachelorette seasons don't go to Disneyland because that is a fantastic date.
I literally wrote that. What did
You
I
did?
write? I said, oh my God, what did I write? I said, why don't they take them there more often? That's sorry. It was an amazing comment too.
It was.
I'm so glad I made sure I said that to you. But I agree with you right now. I agree.
No, we agree. We agree.
It's so
Yeah.
fun. And they're like in California. Hello.
Yes. Ah, it makes sense. Southern California, they're
Just
right
makes sense.
there. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know why they haven't done it before. I would love a date like that. And guys,
It
the
was so
Dole Whip,
fun.
that's what Disneyland's known for. The Dole Whip, guys.
What is
Look
that?
it
I don't
up.
know what that is.
Okay,
Can you just tell
so
us?
Dole pineapple, like it's like a
Oh,
frozen yogurt,
Dole pineapple.
and
Okay.
yeah,
That sounds
it's
so good. I am really on a pineapple kick. Not gonna lie
oh,
to you.
pineapple's
Ever
delicious.
since we had the Golden Bachelor premiere last week and I had
The
my pineapple
cocktail,
golden pineapple martini,
the
I still have a lot
cocktail.
of pineapple. So I told my husband, make me a cocktail last week. He made me a Malibu rum and pineapple cocktail with a tahine, that like
Oh,
spicy lemon
ooh,
or lime
never had that. No,
like
with
seasoning. Oh my God, it's good. Tajin. God,
Mhm.
tahine. It's like like a Latin
Yeah,
seasoning,
you
but
can
it's
get in the
really
grocery store,
good. It's
guys.
spicy and lime.
Yeah.
And did that as the rim with the
Mhm.
Malibu rum and the pineapple, and it was so good. So
Oh
that's
my
another. I'm just like on a
goodness,
pineapple kick. So all right. So
that
the
sounds delicious.
Dole Whip is like a pineapple soft serve.
Yeah, soft serve. That's the way to put it. And
Yum.
it's dairy free. So, like, for someone like
Even
me, I'm like,
better.
oh, yes, please.
Vegan. Yeah.
Anyone can have it, guys, unless you don't like pineapple, then
Yeah.
sorry. But
That's
it's
awesome.
delicious
Now I want
and
one.
it's something I had something similar at a frozen yogurt place
Mm.
actually last weekend because it was a
Mm.
fundraiser for one of my kids' things. And it was a mommy and me group, guys. And because I feel like if they're listening, they'll be like, why didn't she mention no?
Shout
No, of
out.
course. I just don't want people to know exactly where I live. That's why.
Right.
But it's Mommy and Me. It's a great organization, and they had a fundraiser at a frozen yogurt place, and we went. And frozen yogurt, it's tough for me. We take the kids; they love it, but I don't eat
Yeah.
dairy.
Yeah, that's
So
hard.
they had pineapple, Dole pineapple, like non-dairy,
Oh,
like
that
thing that you could
sounds
get, and it
so
was like, oh
good.
my gosh, it was, it was. I loved it. I loved everything about it. And I put coconut shavings.
Oh,
Anywho,
yeah. Do they use
um,
coconut cream? Is that what they
I
make the
don't
soft serve out of?
I'm not sure actually. That's a really good question because
Because like
that's what I use
yogurt
for
is still
creamy.
dairy.
Yes, it's not,
Very
it's
interesting.
totally dairy free, so they may use coconut, and I love
It seems like a good
co-crackers.
combination.
That's what I use. Ugh, I have to look this up though.
Yum.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, it's vegan, 110 calories. I'm still looking for what they use, but they must use like a coconut milk
I
because
think so.
it doesn't bother me and most people
Usually,
use.
yeah.
It's okay.
Okay,
Anywho,
yeah, so they
back to
go
the
to the
date.
Disney resort, or it's the resort, right?
The
Or was it
Disneyland, and
Disneyland?
then yeah.
And it was just a really fun date. RTG2 flirted with Joan, and Chuck was like, "Hey, that's my lady," and it was just cute. And she looks so cute. All her outfits this episode were so cute. I was like, "Why don't I dress as well as a 61-year-old woman? Like, I need to step it up. I want every outfit." Yeah. Um,
She also has a stylist, although I'm sure this is her style too,
True.
guys. But that's
Yeah,
the nice
she's
thing. They're
been
given
slaying
clothes
the
to wear.
outfits. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it was just like a cute date. Anything notable during the Disney part of it?
Um, I mean, no, I mean they just
They talk
both
about their
seem to
kids.
click and
Yeah.
have chemistry and really like each other and
They love their kids, their family.
they do, yeah, they connect on that, the love for their families and and then we go to the nighttime portion. And
Yes.
that's
And she looks like Cinderella.
yes,
Oh my
yes.
God. Like
And he was wearing a
literally
tux.
blue, sparkly,
Hmm.
perfect Cinderella dress.
Yes.
Coming down the castle.
Hmm.
They have a little dinner.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
It was lovely. And then of course it became sad because this is a really
Hmm.
great time for the contestants to tell the lead. about their lives or tell them something very important that impacted them, that's shaped who they are, right? And so Chalk goes on to say, he was married for 12 years, got married in his 30s, had two kids, and they got divorced. And then, what, I think a few years later,
3 years.
he met
Yeah.
or he met another woman, and this was his like love of his life.
Yeah. They were together 9 years
I think
and they were
so. They got
engaged.
engaged. Hmm.
Because I'm sure like he wasn't in a rush. It's
Yeah,
like, but
yeah,
they had all these plans for the future. And then how did they discover this? They took her to the ER for what?
yeah. He got a phone call from her son that she
Just
was in the ER and
okay.
she was having a seizure.
Oh
And
yeah.
then about, what was it? How many months later? 5 months later, she passed away.
Yeah, it turns out she had brain tumors.
Mhm.
Glio,
I don't
oh,
remember
what's the
everything.
word? I don't remember what type of cancer it was. Or glioblastoma, is that the word?
I don't
Ooh,
remember.
I'm looking it up. But yeah, so she had basically glioblastoma.
Um,
And that obviously is extremely hard to how to remove. I mean, it's like deep within the brain. It's fast growing. But yeah, what you said. Oops, hello. Uh, sorry,
Hi.
my screen went black. Yeah, so she passed away, and like I think they had a conversation before she passed where she was like, "Please, like, don't let this like hold you back. Like,
Mm,
you know, continue to live your life. Find someone else."
yeah. Yeah. So he went through that, and of course, it was terribly hard. And that's also where he and Joan connect, that they
Mhm.
both lost the loves of their lives. And I think that was something that she really appreciated, of course, and she felt comfortable with him all day, but also now they connect on that and losing someone.
And
And
I
she
think
knows
Joan said that her husband said something like that to her
he did.
also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. She did mention that he
that's a
took her
hard
aside a few
pill to
days before he
swallow.
died and was
Yeah,
like, I want you to meet someone else because you deserve it and you deserve to be with someone and be happy. So she gave him the rose and then they danced and, they got some
there was a
kissing
little,
and a
yeah,
little something.
little string band over
Yeah.
there, romantic.
And it was great. And they had a great
Cute. Yep.
time. And
Hmm.
so that worked out, and Chalk was, of course, happy because I think from the beginning, Chalk was like, she is fantastic. She is great. Like, he
Yeah.
knew going into this season, getting cast on this show, that he was very much attracted to Joan. And the fact that they're connecting and have chemistry is wonderful for him. So that happened, and then we go to the last group date, which was the talent show. And once
Talent
again,
show.
that was at the Moore Park Theater, which, guys, if you recall, that's where Joey's ladies went to have their talent show during his
Mhm.
season. I think it's by Moore Park College, which is in Ventura County in California, which is just north of LA, guys. So that area.
Okay.
And yeah, I loved it. Once again, I think they all kind of just, no one, some talents were better than others, but no one, I feel like, phoned it in. Like, I feel sometimes that happens
I mean,
on the
remember
other versions.
what's his face? Thomas M. Who was it last season? With Jen? No,
I,
not Thomas. What was his name? Oh my God. I'm already forgetting,
I
guys.
don't remember.
Okay. No, the guy at the very end who proclaimed, like, I love you, Jen.
Oh,
I don't have a
Sam,
talent.
Sam N.
Sam, that's the one.
N.
Sam
Sam
N. Yes,
N.
thank you, thank you.
Oh my God.
Sam N.
Oh,
He kind of like threw in the towel and just did something else. No one did anything like that. They all just like came out with some little talent.
yeah.
Um, I thought it was really cute. They were like juggling and like what else? I thought, okay, a weird one. I thought Pascal's was really weird. He did that haircut on the mannequin. And like it'd be one thing if it was like a really cool haircut. That haircut looked horrible. I'm sorry. No. She was like, I would let him cut my hair. I was like, no, you would not. It was so patchy, not
Oh my
even. He did
goodness.
that thing that I hate where the hairstyle, all right, you can't see me, but if you're watching on YouTube, you can see
Yeah.
that I'm doing the scissors motion where they
Mhm.
literally just cut free-handed. They don't pull it with the other hand and then cut. And that really bothers me. I hate that trend. It's fine if it's just you're getting length off and then you're going to go in with the cut. But some people legit are like, I want a straight edge, and they just do that. And I'm like, heck no. If you ever do that on my hair, I would say do it again the correct way. Like take off a millimeter the correct way, please. Sorry.
How much that is too. What did he say?
Oh my gosh.
$175 at his
Oh my
salon. That's what
God.
that would cost.
I'm
Three
just gonna
seconds.
say that it was all for show.
It was.
I do believe he can do better, but I was not impressed. I will say that, even though I love you, Pascal.
Love you,
I
Pascal.
would definitely not ever want to go back
Uh-huh.
in.
I think that he just kind
It
of,
was
which
funny.
I kind
He
of
stood
like
out.
that he just took what he does for a living and what he's
Yeah,
talented at, and he was like, well, this is my talent. Which, hey,
yeah,
do it, it
yeah.
works. And then what was there was another one that stood out to me, but I don't remember. Oh, there was Kim, the retired Navy captain. He sang a song, and no, he didn't sing it very well, but it was a great song that he
Hmm.
chose to sing, and she really liked it. And I think
Hmm.
he felt he was going to win because he was happy for Dan, but he was still kind of like, well, anytime you don't get that time with Joan, it's that's why we're here, understandably. So I liked how he handled that though,
Yeah,
because I feel like if it was the other shows, it would have been like,
the whole
oh, how'd
thing.
he win? So
But like Dan's story was also like just,
Dan.
tugged at the heartstrings a little because he has tremors,
Yes.
and he chose the ribbon twirling. So
Yeah.
like
So
it's a
it's already.
fun way to like kind of like acknowledge that he has this difficulty with his motor
Hmm.
movements and stuff,
Yeah.
but also to make like the best of the situation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that hopefully can speak on how he lives his life, and I think that's what Joan liked.
Yeah, she loved that. And I feel like he could be the dark horse, guys.
Maybe.
I'm getting, I'm not sure. I still don't know about that 100% about the fourth spot. I mean, I did put someone in there, but I don't know. I don't know. But she seems to like him. And she even
Well, I need to
said
think of my
now,
fourth spot.
wait, what?
I need to think of my new fourth spot.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's the thing. The fourth part, like you said, is that person that we don't see a lot of, that maybe is not as much attention on them and doesn't get a ton of screen time, but then they end up at the
Mhm.
end. Happens every
Mhm.
season, guys.
Mhm.
Happens every season. There's always that one that you're like, oh, yeah, they did get along every time they were together, but the show didn't really focus on them very much because the
Mhm.
show's not planning to do anything with them after the show. That's why.
Yeah.
So so they have their one-on-one time, and that's where he tells her about, you know, his diabetes. And at one point, I think he said 2015, his doctor was like, you maybe have 6 months to live. And then he was like, okay, I need to get my life right. And he really focused on his health, and he's still there today. And he just lives this life where, hey, you have one life, and you just do what you love, and just do it. And so we got to see a little more of him, so that was nice. And then we go back and we go back to the mansion, and we go into the barbecue next. So instead of the cocktail party, we've been seeing this now for several seasons, where instead of a cocktail party, they have a barbecue, or in the
Yeah.
past, it's been like a pool
Like a
party.
pool party, KFC
Yeah.
party.
Yes, right. Last with Joey, guys. This was a barbecue, and it was fun because like you made that comment before about them being dads and grandfathers.
Yeah. Oh
Such a
God.
dad
Such
barbecue,
a dad thing. They
grilling.
were all giving each other tips and like giving
Yes.
each other like feedback on how they're doing things.
Yes.
And it was just so funny. I was like,
So funny.
either it's a great thing to have a bunch of dads together or it's annoying and stressful for everybody. But I think it was a good thing. I think
Yeah,
everybody was like okay with their feedback. I was like, okay,
exactly.
yeah, I won't flip it.
Yeah.
Anyways, flip. Oh, that's how you make your corn. Okay, cool. Anyways, back to what I
Right?
was doing.
I
But it
know.
was
It
just
was
fun. They
great.
were all just happy to grill, and
Mhm.
the spread looked
It
amazing.
did. It was lovely. That
And
was
she
the
rolls
best
in, and
part.
it's just good vibes, like no
Yes.
drama.
Yeah.
Most of the time, this particular part of the journey
Mhm.
ends up with at least one or two girls stealing the spot, or guys stealing the spotlight because of
Mhm.
drama,
Mhm.
and the lead has to talk through it with all the people involved and
Yep.
has to listen and try
Yep.
and understand it and talk to everybody.
Mhm.
And it always just ends up with them feeling like this was ruined, or
Yeah.
like, why did we bother? This is not fun. Like, this
Yeah.
was basically a pool party and so and so is talking in the corner with somebody the whole time,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it was really refreshing to see that that didn't happen.
Yes, it was so nice to just literally, it was just a nice day. And like Joan was saying, she does barbecues all the time when she's at home. 34 years, Sunday dinners have been with the family. Like she loved it, they loved it, like you said. And it was nice. And, she had one on one time with several of the men. And, she gave a framed photo of her and Gary at the prom to him.
Yeah,
And he was so touched,
that
guys.
was really cute.
He loved it. And then of course the moment with Mark that we talked about that was in the cold
Hmm.
opening, that occurred as well. And I believe they were sitting in the same spot that Kelsey had a moment with Joey at the barbecue
Really?
on his season. I believe.
Hmm.
I believe because I'm
That's
starting to picture
funny.
it. I'm starting to picture it. But just saying, guys, just saying. And Mark is lovely, and so is Kelsey. So it's obvious where obviously her mother too, her late mother. But it's really cool to see like he's such a great guy that it makes sense that she's such a great woman, along with, the influence of her mother and the fact that she's with Joey. Joey seems like a great guy. It seems like she chose someone that's great, like her dad's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's kind of like they just seem like great people. I'm just gonna say they just seem like great people.
yeah,
So yeah, it was really great to see all of that. And then we go to the rose ceremony, and we'll just real quick say who's staying because some people went home, and that was one of the people was Jack. Aw, Jack
yeah.
was
He
a
was fun to have
trip.
for,
He was
but
a lot of
you know
fun.
what though? Honestly, like even from the beginning of this episode, I had this feeling where I'm like,
Jack's
it's
coming.
not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't think so anymore. But I did not really. His talent was like funny. It was sock puppets, and it was like kind of a comedy show. It was funny, but I feel like it didn't really like give her anything to be like, oh wow, like
Yeah.
that guy and I have a lot of like. There's some core thing that like I can see in him. He
Yeah.
was fun. He's a silly guy. Like
Yeah.
he's great. He had fun. He did his
Mhm.
thing. But yeah, he did not make it.
He did not
And who
make
else?
it.
Charles King did not make
I
it,
know
right?
Charles King is still there.
Oh,
Christopher was the one doing grilling with
oops.
Jack, and
My
they
bad.
both
Yeah.
left.
Oops.
They
Okay,
both,
thank you.
yeah, they both left, and they actually sang, the Frank Sinatra song again
Yeah.
on the way out. Chicago and New York, guys, that was cute. Two big cities. And then some other people went home, but the people who stayed were Mark, Gary, Pascal, Dan, of course, who got the rose, Chalk, one on one date, rose, Jordan, CK, who's the other Charles, Keith, um, Gil, who's the one who has
Yeah.
allegations out about him, Charles L, Kim, Greg, and Guy. And Guy was stressing. So I think Guy's time may be numbered on the show because they really
Unless something
focused on him
drastic. Yeah.
stressed out. Yeah, and they usually, I feel like they focus on the ones that are really freaked out in the episode before they actually go
Mm,
home. Not
maybe.
always, but that's the trend I see usually. So we'll see. We'll see. Um,
So, should we talk about Gil?
Yes, we need to talk about Gil. So you sent
Yeah.
this to me, and then
So,
I saw more info about it
yeah, it's
online.
definitely come out.
Hmm.
If you follow some Bachelor accounts, like you've probably seen it, but basically he is now our dude with a restraining order that we have now, uh,
Yep.
identified.
Hmm.
How did casting miss this? They say that they did a background check and then the restraining order occurred and then he was on the show. Like, I just don't see why it would be given at that specific time period. Like,
And why
I don't
wouldn't
know,
you make it best practices to
to
do
kick him out.
another one
Mm,
just before it starts filming? Like literally the
yeah,
week or two before. Do another background check just to make sure. Because if you do it
yeah,
earlier on in the casting, anything can happen.
yeah. You
It's
can
like
miss things.
you can miss things. And guys, look, I'm in HR. That's my day job. That's my regular whatever. We
Yeah.
run background checks because you have to. Um,
And do
we
you do
find
it soon up to the point? I
We
mean,
do it
whenever,
in the
yeah,
process just before that person starts because we're
yeah.
like,
I mean, usually when you're hired, like it's within a week or two. It's like once we get your background check, then you
Mhm.
can begin onboarding, you know?
Yes.
Like,
Then,
why don't they treat this as seriously as getting a job, you know? Do the interview, the references, the background check.
yes.
It's not that hard to
Yes.
make sure somebody is safe to
Yes.
date another person that you're
Yes.
asking to be on TV and
Mhm.
date a bunch of people, you know?
Yeah.
Like they should
And
treat it with more respect, you know.
do you need some HR professionals, guys? Hey,
There we go.
I
Elena's
can work
here.
remotely. No.
I
But
know.
seriously, like this.
Wouldn't that be a trip if like we did get reached out by ABC and they're like, "Hey, Raina, we actually do have a position for HR
I
at
know.
The
But then I couldn't
Bachelor
do the podcast
Network."
anymore, probably. Probably be like a conflict of interest type of thing. But can you
Oh,
imagine I would have the ability maybe to get really good interviews for us?
oh my God. Well, just work there
Like,
for a few seasons and then hop back over here.
yes, right?
Be like, "Hey, I
No, or I'll
got you
just be
on
a
the show."
contractor. Oh, wait,
Uh,
I
oh my
know.
God. No, that would be really crazy.
No.
But yeah, so that's very unfortunate. And now everybody's just like, apparently they're trying to edit him out, right?
Mm.
With Devin,
Yeah,
they didn't try that,
no,
but I think they're
they
trying
didn't.
to like kind of edit him out of the future episodes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Well,
lie, I kind of like did not even check in when he talked with Joan. I was just kind of like, oh, Gil.
yeah. I was like, oh, him. Um, yeah, she doesn't seem, he's still there, but I think they connected on losing their spouses. I think that's a big thing. But
Again,
I
she
don't
doesn't
see
know, so we do have to give him the
exactly.
benefit of the doubt.
She doesn't know, guys, and she's a smart woman. If she knew, he would have been gone.
Yeah.
But I don't think he definitely will not make it far to
Hmm.
top four at all, in my opinion. So he's gonna go soon, guys. He's gonna go soon. And I hope there's nothing else on any of the other men. But at this point, guys, we're at a
No,
point in Bachelor franchise where you just kind of sit back and you go,
can't be sure.
hey, might happen. So I just hope it's not one of
Yeah,
the people I really like.
I
Please,
know.
please.
Well, it's likely not Kelsey's dad. We should know
No,
that by
not
then, by
Mark!
now. Yeah.
Who did we?
Uh,
Oh, that was like, did I text you about that last weekend? Yeah. So we haven't talked about it. My theory on
oh
Mark.
yeah, your theory.
So yes, Mark could end up with Joan. That's 100%. And I think there was an
Yeah.
interview where she said, or someone said that she asked about him being on the show. Okay.
Ooh,
So, hey, well, who wouldn't? It's Mark. But
yeah,
I think that if he doesn't end up with Joan at the end, he is a great candidate that who they would look to for Golden Bachelor, the next Golden Bachelor.
definitely. Yeah,
He's already
I
well
think so
liked.
too.
He's
Um,
already so
yeah, and
popular.
like if she's not the one, then they're gonna want to find him, his
Yes.
lady, you know.
Yes. And he's this
So
man who
that
lost
could
his wife,
happen.
love of his life, perfect relationship, he said. It's been 6 years since she passed away. It would be so fun to see Kelsey at hometowns and Joey because that's her fiance. I think that they would love to tie in
Yeah,
all of this from Bachelor, Golden Bachelor. I think that
yeah,
they would take advantage of that 100%. And this is like a
for
gold mine
sure.
to them. Gold.
Yeah.
But this is like a
Golden
gold mine to them.
opportunity.
Right.
God, there's
Golden
so many
opportunity.
good golden
There
puns.
are.
I am
There are.
loving using all these
There
puns
are.
lately.
There are.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah, look
okay.
for that, guys. I just
Mhm.
have a feeling that he would be so far. We're going to learn more about all of these men, obviously. And there's only one that makes it to the end. But I just feel like they give him great airtime. He's already so well loved. He's already really part of Bachelor Nation before this. And I just think the show would be silly if he's not the one at the end to not offer that to him. Even if he
Yeah,
doesn't take it, please to believe they didn't
right.
offer it. I don't know.
They're
So,
giving him the Daisy edit.
right, 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 guys.
Yeah, you never know.
Daisy, shout out to Daisy.
I
See, you're
know she's
doing well.
thriving.
Good
She's doing
job.
so good.
Yes, yes, Daisy, we love you. So happy for you. You are with the right person, and you are living your life, and That's
Yeah.
fantastic. So it's really good to see that. So anything
Yeah.
else we want to add? I think that's pretty
Um,
much.
I think that's really it.
Yeah.
It's just a different show. It's just really awesome to see like how love is being found right now, and I'm excited to see next episode.
Me too.
Looks like they're gonna play sports,
Yeah.
so hope nobody hurts themselves.
Oh man.
Knocking on wood. Everybody
Yeah.
wear your braces and
Yeah.
your,
Yeah, everything,
you know,
guys. Get the icy hot milk
stretch.
after. So, like, just
Yeah.
do it. It's okay. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's all we
But I think
have.
that's everything. Hmm.
Yeah. So we'll be here next week, guys, for another great episode of The Golden Bachelorette. And um I know we said we were gonna do a bracket, guys.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. It's been a lot going on. But get this, guys, you know more and more about these men. So you're welcome. We're making it easier
Yeah.
for you. But that is coming to you. That is coming to you. You will see. You will see. I feel like I need an assistant, guys. Let's be honest. Moms need assistants. And we
I
don't
know,
get that.
right?
Well, some moms do. But it just, can you imagine if I had an
Oh my
assistant, I
God.
would just be like, okay, so I just need to get this done. Can you make that bracket? Can you,
I know.
can you just,
I tell my husband all the time, I was like, once we hit that like big money, I'm getting an assistant. I want that more than anything. I don't need a new car. I need an assistant. I need like a house manager, maybe. Just
yeah,
come on in and help out. But
yeah,
all
and they
right.
take care of everything.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So thanks so much for listening and watching, and
Yeah.
we'll see you next time for another golden week of the Golden
Woo.
Bachelor. Oh.
Bye.